All right, let's do a little roundup, shall we? RFK Jr. finally dropped out of the race. I guess there's only so many deeply unsettling, mutilated animal corpse scandals one campaign can withstand. I guess last week his team was like, sir, maybe time to withdraw. We hear there's another animal scandal coming. What, the thing with the camels on the yacht that time? Because that was the Sheik's idea. No, it's, what did you do to the camels? No, it was something about a whale. One time, a man goes all Leatherface on a beloved sea mammal in front of his 6-year-old in order to feature the skull as a centerpiece of a shamanistic blood ritual. One time, and that's a story. They only care because it's a whale. I decapitate dead land animals all the time. Nobody cares. Could you define all the time, please? All right, so anyway, they had to drop out, and beforehand they contacted the other campaigns asking about a cabinet position. Kamala didn't call them back, presumably because there's no such thing as the Department of Lunatic Bullshit. But then again, Trump was like, you know, we were just looking for a Secretary of Lunatic Bullshit. Welcome aboard. So he endorsed Trump, which you have to think will boost his numbers with the coveted people who think the moon is up to something demographic. On the other side, it's a new scandal for Tim Walz every day, too. Each one more made up and innocuous than the last. They have no idea how to attack this man. You're like, yeah, this rural Midwestern Army vet, football coach, happily married father of 2 is bad for America. Is what? He's secretly Chinese. His tacos are dumb. He says dogs are his dog, ain't his dog. You're like, whoa, you guys okay? What are you talking about, man? I love how they tell on themselves with Walz. They're like, look how his son loves him. Gross. Every man knows you're supposed to resent and fear your tyrannical father in America, right, guys? They tell on themselves. They're like, no, we just got to keep digging. We'll find something on Walz because we all know that everybody has at least one deep, dark secret that would ruin their lives if it came out. We're like, no, not everybody. I think most of us are just paying bills and going to PTA meetings. That's good to know about you guys, though. It's good to know that prominent Republicans got so many skeletons in their closet, there's barely any room left for Lindsey Graham. Like, what are they going to say about Tim Walz next? You know, they're like, sir, we got a solid source here claiming that the tomatoes in his garden were, quote, pretty disappointing last year. Might want to run with that. Meanwhile, on the other side, you don't even have to do any research on JD to make him look bad. All you got to do is turn on the camera and let him exist in front of it. My God, what kind of hillbilly don't know how to bullshit around in a food counter, man? Like, just ask them what they know good. You're in Georgia, bring up the dogs. Talk shit about Florida. It ain't that hard, man. Like, he has the worst political instincts I've ever seen. Somebody gives him a baby to kiss at a rally, and he's like, oh, yes, a baby. And how long has this been a baby? Good. What about you, sir? Do you own a baby? You're 16. Okay, good. This has been an enjoyable human interaction. Right? They're so weird, dude. Between him, Trump, and now that old Bobby Bear Killer's on board, they're like the Avengers of being off-putting. Meanwhile, on the left, you got the political Ted Lasso out here warming hearts and changing minds. What a time to be alive, y'all. Truly. All right. Listen, YouTube, we got some more on JD in a second, but first, let's take a look at some of the media coverage of this here story. All right, y'all, we're here on Ground News looking at one of the stories I talked about today, RFK Jr. suspending his campaign. You can see the coverage breakdown up here, a lot of sources, pretty evenly distributed between the left and the right, as you would expect for a story this big. And down here, the headlines themselves, you could sort the headlines by left or right or center. And you do that, you start to notice how the headlines themselves are different. All the headlines on the right mention the fact that he endorses Trump. That's their boy. And then on the left, some of their headlines instead focus on the, quote, bizarre nature of RFK Jr.'s campaigns. You can see the subtle differences that emerge depending on the bias of the outlet reporting. That's what you get from Ground News. Ground News is a startup and service that aims to combat bias in the media by adding context and transparency to all the news that you consume, right? So before you ever click on an article, you get this extra information. You see the ownership group, where the money comes from, the factuality rating, the bias of the outlet. Now imagine your Aunt Tammy, who gets all her political news from memes on Facebook. Imagine if she was given these extra layers of information before ever consuming any news to begin with, how much of a difference that might make, especially in a year like 2024, because it is an election year. And fret not, Ground News has an entire portion of their website devoted to compiling election coverage. So it's one-stop shopping for everything 2024 election, including one of my favorite features, the blind spot feature. This shows you articles that are not being talked about on either side of the political spectrum. Like on the right, no one's talking about RFK's dead whale head story because, hey, he's their boy now. They don't want him to look bad. On the left, no one's talking about some possible corruption in the Lincoln Project because, you know, they're aligned as well. So the blind spot feature allows you to get outside of your bubble a little bit, which I think is something we could all use a little more of. These are just some of the many features you can get on Ground News. So if that sounds good to you, click the link in the description below or scan that QR code to try Ground News today. You can try it for free, or you can get 40% off their highest tiered Vantage program, which includes, among other things, unlimited access to the blind spot feature. That's right, it's a subscription-based service, which means you don't have to worry about any ads. How sweet is that? Listen, y'all, it's 2024. It's never been more important. Push back on the bias and BS. Try Ground News today. All right, YouTube, and we're back. You know, listen, I've not liked JD for a long time, but I never really thought that he made up the stuff about his upbringing, the hillbilly upbringing. I don't know. I just didn't believe that part was fraudulent, but I'm starting to doubt it recently. One of the recent things was when he was at the RNC and he clearly didn't know the lyrics to Kid Rock's American Badass. I was like, you can't escape. You in real trailer America, there's no escaping Kid Rock, especially that era of Kid Rock. Like, look, dude, can't stand Kid Rock anymore either, but I grew up in the late 90s and early 2000s. White trash is all get out, and if the opening notes to Ba Wit Da Ba comes on, I'm flipping a goddamn table over. I can't help it. It's just in my blood. You can't get away from it. That's what I'm saying. That was my first inclination. He might not be entirely on the up and up as far as his history, right, his origin story, and then this shit today, this week. What kind of trailer American is that kind of charisma vacuum? You don't know how to talk to people regular. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me, because like every pillbilly parented trailer baby I know is fucking hilarious and a hell of a good time at a party. Sure, you know, some of them will steal your catalytic converter, your Mamaw's pills, and that type of thing. But they'll make you chuckle your ass off while they do it, though. There's still a lot of fun in a lot of ways, and this guy's just out here just like staring into the void, mumbling to himself, trying to, like, the most dead-eyed vacant smile you've ever seen. Like, what was you doing when for me, to escape the pain of that sort of upbringing, you had to learn to laugh to keep from crying. That's a cliche. That's what you say, right? That and DMX's music, right? But I'm just saying, there was outlets for it. What was he doing the whole time? Just sitting in the back room of his mom's trailer, just staring at the wall, plotting his vengeance on the future iteration of the world that he's already grown to hate beyond reason? Is that all he was doing? I don't get it, JD. Like, are you making it all up, or did you just somehow take away every opposite lesson and virtue from the shared experience we ostensibly have than those that I did? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he continues to bury his ass and his boss as well. I don't think that Bobby's going to sway it that much, but I guess we'll all have to wait and see. Listen, thank y'all for watching. Put these little things up here and click this. This is a link to my special, my old special. I got a new one coming soon, though. Yes, I do. I filmed it. That's true. And then the other, you can click to subscribe to the channel. You see all these videos, my podcast, things of that nature. And the important one to me, the other circle, is TreyCrowder.com. That's my website where you can see tour dates where I'm coming to perform as a stand-up comedian. That's what I really do. If I'm coming near your city, you should come see me. It's a lot of fun. I promise you. If you like these, you like that. I really believe it's true. Anyway, the important thing is y'all keep watching these silly things, and I'll keep making them. I love you like chicken. See you next time. Bye.